Oh, time of the month, everybody. Time of the month. It's time. What time is it? It is rock time. Welcome to your favourite album review show, and to my crew, to Ian, to Dom, and to Trish.
Hello.
Hi.
The show, we are reviewing two brand new albums out there, putting them head to head, voting out of 5. 2 reasons for the vote: which one will we buy, which we spend our hard-earned dosh on, and will it get into our Hall of Fame, and therefore also into our Album of the Year show. Only two more months to go before we get into all of that. So today we have H.E.A.T against Eclipse. H.E.A.T's album Extra Force and Eclipse album Megalomanium. So who are H.E.A.T? H.E.A.T are a Swedish hard rock band formed in the uplands of Vasby in 2007 when prior bands Dream and Trading emerged. The band's heavy sound is strongly influenced by past melodic groups such as Whitesnake, with H.E.A.T having supported musical acts such as Scorpions. Between 2015 and summer 2017, the group focused entirely on writing and recording songs into the Greater Unknown, which is 17, and Your Music as H.E.A.T recorded H.E.A.T 2 in 2020 and Force Majeure in 2022 after reuniting with the original vocalist Kenny Ramo. Now, these guys are a returning band for us, and we've had returning bands before, and sometimes I've forgotten who they are because they're quite low down, but this group scored a mammoth 3.8 on Force Majeure, and we're very close to getting into our Hall of Fame. Very, very close. So, will they this time cross that hallowed ground? Oh, well, Dom, you're not the only one here, you know, mate. You can shake your head, you know, but let's find out then. Ian, we're going to start with you. Was this a bit of extra force? Was it extra force to get him across the line? And what did you think of H.E.A.T?
So, I think that H.E.A.T, because I just typed in H.E.A.T and a completely different band come out.
Yeah, it is H.E.A.T.
So, but I think so.
Yeah.
But yeah, H.E.A.T. Yeah, I'm being a dick. I apologise.
That's unusual.
So, bless you. Thanks. Cheers.
At least he's being
buddy.
honest.
He's being an honest dick.
Yeah, but he's not being good.
No.
He's not being good.
But you're an honest dick.
We're getting near the butt touching again, aren't we? Let's not go there. Right. So I called these good, honest, 80s hard rock. Yeah, I'm going to follow the theme again. Definitely. However, you know, we talk about things sounding the same and, just songs repeating and so forth. This is good, honest 80s hard rock. I just love Freedom, Back to the Rhythm, Nationwide, One by One. Hollywood, that's been the song that's going round in my head. Hollywood. It's just awesome, really good. And then we get good, honest live 80s hard rock. It's the whole thing again. Just live. Have I been listening to the same album as you guys?
No, we're listening to what you've got to say.
Okay, that's fine.
We're honestly listening to you. Honest.
That's fine. That's cool. And I'm like, oh my god, the same songs again, but live. I'm like, but these songs are awesome. And I'm caught in the territory of like, oh my good lord, an album of two halves that are pretty much is just just write one side, fold it over the paper, and you've got the inks printing on the other side, and that makes up the double issue. But it's one just folded, but one's live, one's recorded, and I'm like, oh wow, now I'm trapped. Now do I like this or do I not? I freaking love the music, but what a lazy thing to do. But it really works. But it's lazy, but it's crap, but it's really good. It's got Hollywood. It's got Hollywood twice. It's got Hollywood live. It's got all that. And I'm just caught in a melt. Absolutely melt. I don't know whether to score it really badly or really well. I'm just I'm caught up. I don't know. I don't know where I'm going to score it. I loved it and hated it all at the same time. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure we heard some of the tracks on Force Majeure as well.
Yes. So the live versions are not all the tracks from Some
No.
of them are. So
Yeah.
you're obviously back to kind of. Yeah, you're right. Dangerous Ground and Living on the Run are from previous albums that they've done live recordings for. So it's not they haven't repeated the whole album. They haven't recorded all this album then live. Some of them are, and some of them are not. So, but
I definitely, for people of a certain age, the Nationwide theme tune is a little bit different now to how I remember it.
Well, remembering something different. We're not going to get that here, I don't think, with Dom. I kind of feel I know what's coming here, but
oh, melodic rock. Oh my word, melodic rock. What can I say? What it is, let me just explain what my problem is with this type of music, because I'm going to say, Ian, I know this is all you say, I would not call this hard rock in any way, shape or form. There's nothing hard about it. You have these, like, for me, really awful uplift choruses where the voices go up and everything goes up, and it's kind of very like, it's just too positive. Everything's okay until you get to this like uplift chorus, and then you've got these solos that just go on and on for too long, and they're basically just going up and down a scale. That's basically what most solos are. You just go up a scale, go down the scale, go up again the scale, and that's how it goes. You got synths in there. Falsetto singing. Really not. For me, it's just not my thing. It just screams corny. That's what I'm going to say. It's corny rock. It's not hard rock. It's definitely not hard. There's nothing hard about these lot at all. My dog could probably beat them up, I reckon, in a fight. And my dog is a sausage dog.
Well, I'm hoping Trish is going to come out fighting and swinging and beat you up for saying corny. Or is it? She knows corny. Trish.
I mean, we all know this should set rock chick Trish's music sweet spot on fire. It's all I love about 80s rock. Those sorts of bands of my teenage generation years ago that got me into rock. Great guitar and drums with a bit of cheesy electronics thrown in at times for good measure. This is a tasty morsel of good old rock and roll to reminisce and take you back to those years doing what it says on the tin. All round feel good fun album. Boom.
Boom in your face. There's a lot.
Nigel, before you do yours, sorry, could I just? I've really had to really struggle to hold it together to give Trish respect during her review, but my dog could beat this up. Sorry.
No, beat the band up. I mean, that's what you're trying to say. But,
I want music to scare me. I want the bands that are like, I love aggression, and none of that.
No. I'll just stand out quote for me. That's brilliant.
Okay, there's a lot of good things with this album if you like this 80s kind of generic kind of rock, and there are some not so good things with this album. I think if you're going to play this generic rock era and there's a lot of standout bands, your vocals have to be on point, production has to be on point, and you need to vary up a little bit, which I think they do. I think that I think it's a good album. Just bring out a fepping live album. just bring out a live album. Don't rinse and repeat. That for me, I when I want to listen to an album, I want to listen to brand new tracks. I don't want covers. Don't want live editions. Don't mind instrumental versions of songs. It's different. But just a bit tedious. Just like I don't want that on my personal album. But that's me personally. If I want to listen to you live, I'd buy a live album or I'd see you live. I personally can't stand live recordings of songs. I can't be dealing with it. I really can't. So anyway, so it was a shame for me because actually, was it as good as Force Presume? Probably not. Was it enjoyable? Some good tracks in there, but yeah, I don't think it's as good as the last time round on that score. But anyway, there we go. Okay. Well, who are they up against? They're up against Eclipse and their album Megalomania. Who are Eclipse? Funny enough, is we've got a head-to-head with Sweden here because the band was formed in '99 in Stockholm. Singer, guitarist, bassist Eric Martinsson and drummer, keyboardist Anders Berlin, together with guitarist Magnus Henriksson. They received what did they receive? Wonders. A record deal. Right, that's right. With record label Z Records and the band's debut album Truth and Little More was released in 2001. So, Dom, more of the same, or did you feel a little bit like a Megalomania or Megalomanium?
For me, this was basically indistinguishable from H.E.A.T, if I'm really honest. I think it was a similar vibe, but I think what it is it's like Sweden is supposed to be like this really amazing country to live in, isn't it? It's supposed to be like really nice. Everything is, clean and neat and tidy, and like when you go around IKEA, it's all like kind of perfect. And I think that's what it is. Sweden is just too nice a country. They can't produce hard, heavy rock music. It's just too mild for me. That's the best word that I can come up with. So for me, it's kind of Eurovision type standard rock.
So,
and I'll just leave it at that.
So let me just encapsulate what you just said then. Okay. Not only have you slated Eclipse for their side of rock, you have just literally slated the whole of the Swedish rock scene in its entirety. In one sweeping motion, you have totally disparaged the whole of the Swedish rock scene to say they're incapable of producing anything else other than dad rock. Am I reading that right, Dom?
Maybe. Like Norway, black metal, dark metal. They're obviously unhappy in Norway. I don't know what's going on between Norway and Sweden.
Sorry, I don't say that Lordi is any flipping good, right? Because they're not. I would take this sort of music any day over the trash that Lordi brings out. And I would not encapsulate Norwegian rock as Lordi, by the way. So just saying that.
Fair point. Okay. And to any Swedish listeners, I'm sorry. But it was not for me.
There we go. You ABBA fans, make sure you mob Dom on your comments. Trish, then, your cup of tea?
Well, this album is full of energy, catchy melodic rock songs that will have fans singing along. I mean, the track Anthem epitomises just that sentence. It's packed full of guitar riffs, it's relentless, pure melodic rock. All 11 tracks deliver exactly what this rock chick wants from an album. My favourite track has to be Children of the Night. There isn't a bad song for me on this album. This is a gem and needs to be listened to by all melodic rock lovers. It's got me hooked, an absolute blinder.
Boom! So, obviously, Trish has Swedish blood in her. You're blonde, you love this sort of music. I mean, surely. Ian, what do you reckon, my friend?
Mm-hmm. So, if music be the food of love, play on. Very famous quote. Shakespeare, was it? Shakespeare, I think it was. Yeah. And obviously music is provided for love. And when something loves you and you fall in love with that, it can be described as the Stockholm syndrome. So I just want to balance out and say there's some beautiful music coming from Stockholm's in Sweden. Sweden is clearly a good place. However, when music is presented to you to look after you, and you hate it, that's called Dom syndrome. We got there. I can see you were wondering where the hell's he going this time.
I'm just trying to work out your analogy for Stockholm syndrome. I know. Because Stockholm, that to me is not Stockholm syndrome, but there we go. So.
No.
Loose tenure grasp.
Love, music's meant to love you and care for you and blah, 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 blah. That's where the Stockholm syndrome, but yeah, very tenuous, I know. But moving on, looking at Scandinavia, I would judge Finnish music by Battle Beast. I would tarnish the whole of Finland by amazing Battle Beast music, definitely. So, Eclipse. This is good, honest, 80s rock. This is hard rock / metal. This is what I love.
This is
absolutely.
Absolutely.
I think it's better
your new
to say.
catchphrase, Ian. Your new catchphrase.
And for this month, I'll come up with something different next month. So good, honest 80s hard rock / metal. Me and Dom clearly probably wouldn't go to the same concerts. Maybe the odd festival, but wouldn't be on the same stages. But I just love the fact that how Dom describes what he hates, I'm just sitting there going, how can you not like that? You're saying something so beautiful and you're saying this is awful. It's like, how can you not like that? It's like the hardest part is losing you. Anthem, One Step Closer to You. They're absolutely beautiful 80s songs. They're just got that lovely vibe. And I think the Scandinavians, and particularly the Swedes, are just doing this 80s revival really well. Some of them are just repetitive and it's a bit naff, but the ones that stand out tend, correct me if I'm wrong, but they do tend to come from Sweden. A lot of them come from Scandinavia. They tend to come from Sweden, the ones that really manage to do it well.
It's not surprising because according to Dom, that's all the Swedish actually have. That's it. This is the Swedish rock scene in its entirety. Is this sort of genre? Nothing else comes out of Sweden apart from this. But we're talking about rock, just purely about the rock scene, obviously.
But I really like the build-ups in the song. The songs just build. That excitement is just the crescendo builds in them. Crescendo is not the right word. The excitement, each song just builds and builds and builds, and the album itself builds right up all the way through. Some albums you watch and they lose their way a little bit, and then they come back, and then they lose their way a bit, and it's a nightmare. Whereas this is much more consistent than that. I'm not going to say it doesn't lose its way along the way, because there are a couple of weak tracks, I think. But generally, overall, it's pretty consistent, and it's good, honest 80s hard rock / metal.
Yay! Right, okay. Right. Imagine you're watching H.E.A.T live, right? And coming at the end of the gig, coming to the end of their set, you went out and got a beer, and then you came back in, and unbeknown to you, they'd swapped over with Eclipse. You wouldn't notice. You wouldn't notice whether it was H.E.A.T or Eclipse actually playing the gig, right? Okay, you wouldn't. It's incredibly the same sort of music. It was all right. Yeah.
Sorry, can I say you would notice because H.E.A.T would be playing the same songs over and over again.
Yeah, well, exactly. But there you go. All right, they're playing something different now. There we go. But in terms of sound and feel and sort of vibe, you really wouldn't see that. I have to say, I matched these two up perfectly. Sometimes I match up too well, and these were definitely, two faces of the same coin, really, from that side. However, saying that, Rain of Vultures was a fantastic song. Really loved that. That was a standout. All the two albums together, that was probably the only song that made my kind of cool playlist. It was what it was, and it wasn't terrible. It was good. It was solid. It wasn't honest, but it was pretty good. It was all right, and that's enough I can possibly say about that, really. So anyway, let's find out of these two very similar sounding bands, or were they? Will one stand out? Which one would we have bought then? Let's start with the Doomsayer first. Then Dom, H.E.A.T.
Can just say I love Sweden. It's a great country.
Sweden does not love you after this.
I've been. It's lovely. I'm going to give this 1.5.
Trish.
4.
Paul also give it a 4. He quite liked H.E.A.T. Ian.
I was still wrestling my head with this. I can't decide whether to give it a 2.5 or a 5. I really can't. I'm going to go for a 4.5, only because of the repetition. I absolutely love the style of music, but it's got to lose something for the repetition. But I just love it so much. But then there's skip buttons, there's play again, so 4.4. I'm going to go 4. I'm going to go 4 because of the skip button. You can skip stuff. And if you skip the repeating, I'm going to 4.
It's a popular
4.
number with this because
Yeah.
I didn't give it a 4. I give it a 3. But there we go. So we got 12. 60.5. I mean, it's not far off what they got last time. And in fact, if we'd had like somebody else on the panel rather than the Swedish H.E.A.T and Dom, mate, you said it with your own words, okay? Yeah, you can't take it back. It might well have matched what it did last time, but still a cracking score. Good album, Eclipse. Well, let's start with the Doomsayer again. Who hates Swedish metal? Dom.
Well, it's exactly the same, isn't it? 1.5. They're the same album, basically.
Sure. Okay. Trish.
5.
5. Woohoo! Sweden love Trish. Hate Dom.
In your face,
Let's go,
Dom.
Ian.
This gets 4.5 from me.
4.5. I've given it a 3.5 because I think they just edged it for me with Heat, particularly with the Raid of Vultures.
That's why I changed 4.5 to 4.
Yeah. Okay. So
We're
looking at 5, 6, 8.5. Paul, give it a 2.5, by the way. So, I know, right? Oh, look at her face. She give it. Paul only give it 2.5. So, anyway, changing around again. I lost count there. So, 6, 8.5, 13.5, 14, 17. Still a big score. I'd buy Eclipse. Trish would buy Eclipse. Paul would buy Heat. Dom.
Swedish meatballs in IKEA. That's what I buy.
Well, but in the meantime, you're forced to go to the HMV next door or any other good record shops are available. Which are you going to buy, Dom?
If I had to, Heat.
Heat. Okay.
Yeah.
2 apiece, but Ian's going to buy Eclipse based on his rating. Yeah. So, Eclipse and Megalomania wins this battle, and only just 17 to 16.5, 3-2. Wow. Okay, fantastic. Congratulations to those. Well done, both. 2 great Swedish kind of honest, heavy rock and roll metal bands. So I slipped everything in here in terms of genre, but there we go. Anyway, well done, everybody. Thank you very much. Thank you to my crew, to the Domski, to the Ianski, and to the Trisky. Thank you very much, everybody, and keep rocking out there and get well with Paul. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.